Alright, what is going on everybody? My name is Perfexel and I've got a very special video for you today. The Heart of Fire event just came out, and as I always do, I went through and calculated the amount of units you need to get any of the given milestones. I always do this for myself, but this time I decided to make a full video out of it so that I could spread that information with everyone else. So if you just want to see that spreadsheet alone, you can skip to this timestamp in the video that's on the screen, and you can just screenshot that and look at that alone if that's all you care about. However, if you'd like a more detailed breakdown, especially if you are free to play and you just want to see what you can get without spending any units and what order you should do it in, then continue watching because I'm about to go through everything. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy. The first thing you'll want to do before you do anything else is make sure that you fully complete this moonshot event. So go through with Nick Fury or any of the champs. I just say Nick Fury because I think most people will have a Nick Fury ranked up, but take whatever champ that is that's part of the Heart of Fire event and just auto fight some Road to the Labyrinth, or as I did here, I did the lower difficulty of the event quest. Doesn't really matter what you do, just auto fight that for a while, and then once you're done with that, you'll have 34 free Cavaliers that will get you points and free stuff in the other events. Second thing you'll want to do is go ahead and open those Cavaliers. There's no reason to hold them. Just open those Cavaliers. You'll get 34 points in the Sunstorm event, which will get you free Paragons and a bunch of other goodies. So just go ahead and open those. Doesn't really matter what you get. You can't even get 7 stars out of here, but you do have to open them to get the points. Now with all that complete, you can start claiming the stuff from the Sunstorm event. So there's immediately 4 Paragons that you're going to get, and you're going to get another 10 for free without doing anything. So go ahead and open those Paragons. Opening those will unlock another 5, and once you open that 5, it will unlock the final 5. Then with those opened, we can finally move into the primary one, the Phoenix Force event. Immediately there will be 2 Valiants and 600 units, so just like that, boom, you have 600 units gained for free. And once you open those Valiants, that will unlock another batch of Valiants. And then once you open those 2, all in all, you will end up with 36 points in the Phoenix Force event. And the next milestone is actually 600 units, so it makes sense to, at this point, immediately buy 2 of the crystals because you will instantly get reimbursed. So once you've done that, you will end up with 40 points in this Phoenix Force event, and you will have gained a bunch of free stuff and 600 units. And this is where I would actually advise that you stop if you don't have a sizable amount of units. There isn't any good reward for a while in the track. So if you have less than 4,000 units at your disposal for this event, as a free-to-play, for example, just stop right there. Plus 600 units, that'll be 600 units you can use in the summer sale. So I would definitely say just stop there if you don't have at least 5,000 units that you can put into this event. Now if you do have the units, that's where it gets interesting. And that is also where my spreadsheet comes into play. So I went through and calculated all of the amount of crystals you would need for each of the milestones and the subsequent unit cost for each of them, and that is what is here on screen. So at the top, obviously, we have all of the stuff you get for free, all the way down to the points 40 is all for free. You guys can screenshot this and repost it or share it or use it in your own video if you'd like. All that I ask is you put a link to this original video crediting me. Hopefully that can help my channel out a little bit. So yeah, I'd appreciate that a lot. The point tracker in this spreadsheet is corresponding to the Phoenix Force event points, not the other ones, so keep that in mind. But yeah, that 40 units is highlighted in yellow. Everything highlighted in yellow are points that I think are good to stop at. So as you can see, 40 points highlighted in yellow. If you don't have the units to invest, then just go ahead and stop there. You got 600 free units and a bunch of other stuff, and that's a pretty good stopping point. But as we move down, we get some good stuff, but it is costly. And that is part of the argument here against this event, is that the summer sale is coming up. Everyone knows the summer sale is going to be insane in terms of the value it brings. You're likely going to get 2 rank 4s, if I had to imagine, 2 rank 4 gems, or a bunch of tier 7 from all of the offers. So it's definitely going to be better than this in terms of value. What matters really here is how much do you care about these champions. So if, for example, Tigra is your favorite champion, then it doesn't really matter that the next event is going to be better, because if you don't pull her out of the 7-star crystals, you're just going to go all the way for the selector, obviously, because this is the only time that you can get that champion. However, if you don't want to go that many units in, then there are a lot of good points to stop here. So right here, there is 1 7-star crystal. You only need to invest 5,700 net units. And on this side, there is the amount of Valiants you need to buy with your own units in order to do it. So, for example, if you want to get this milestone, you want to get all of these 7 stars, you could start off the event just by buying 70 Valiants, and then you will get reimbursed enough units so that you only lost this many units, and you will have enough crystals from all the free stuff to open all of it, assuming that you do the Cavalier thing and all of that. You will not need to invest any units beyond spending the units required to buy these 70 Valiants, and obviously you will get reimbursed with all of these units along the way. So let's go over the scenarios I have basically thought about. So if you want to just stop here and get these free units, that is completely fine. I would definitely recommend that for people that have less than 5,000 units. I don't think there's a good stopping point until right here at the 7-star crystal, which is another good one. I think you could stop here and you'll get a bunch of Valiants. You might even pull a 7-star out of there, but you're getting 1 guaranteed 7-star. It is pretty pricey, but I think it is worth it if you really want some of the champions in this crystal. Now, as you continue on, it's pretty much the same thing. It's around like 5,000 units per 7-star crystal, and then they just stop. And beyond there, in my opinion, you kind of need to go really far to make it worth it. So let's say you just want one of the champions and you get them out of your first crystal. Well, definitely just stop here. And obviously, if you have budget restrictions in terms of, let's say you're free to play and you only have 6,000 units, well, you can only get this one then, obviously. But let's say you have like 30,000 units and you're not sure if you want to go all the way down here or if you want to save some for summer sale. Well, I think then that kind of depends on who you get. I think each of these points that I've highlighted in yellow are good to stop at. So if you feel like you are satisfied after opening this 7-star crystal and all of the Valiants, let's say you get something good out of there and you are like, okay, I got what I wanted, then you can pass out here. However, if you want to keep going, well, I think you should stop at either of these. There's only like 1,000 units in between here, which is why I highlighted the Dark Phoenix, because it is a champ that you can't get any other way, at least as of right now. So 6-star Dark Phoenix would definitely be at least somewhat interesting to have as in your roster. So that could be a consideration, just spend a few more 100 units to get your Dark Phoenix. But that's a good point to stop. 12,000 units for 2, and then 17,000 units for 3 7-stars. And I think that will be what most of people do that aren't wailing out all the way, because there isn't really much out of here that is worth stopping for. Like, you kind of have to be going all the way if you want to continue onward after this 17,000 unit hurdle. The reason I have highlighted the Awakening Gem and the 3 to 4 is if you are very restricted on units and you don't care as much about Dark Phoenix and you just really want your future Ant-Man or Nick Fury or Tigra, whoever, awakened. and you can't wait for it, then you could go for this and stop there, get an awakening gem, get a 3 to 4 gem, and just stop there. But personally, I think that it's even better to continue going all the way to the Dark Phoenix, because you also get these SIGs, you get a selector, and you get a champ that you can't get any other way that's supposed to be supposedly strong, and it's only 6,000 units. Really, after this 17,000 bump, you have to go like all the way essentially. For me, I'm going to be kind of playing it by ear, which I think everyone should do. I think if you open, for example, let's say you just go for this one, you buy 28 or 30 of the Valiants, whatever you decide to do, and you get some good stuff out of it, maybe you just call it a day right there. I definitely will be considering that if I do get lucky, but overall it kind of just depends on how many units you have, because I think the summer sale is definitely a lot more important. So I'll be reserving about 40,000 units that will be going towards the summer sale out of my free-to-play unit grind, but everything else will basically be dropped here. Unless I get really lucky, then I might just stop. But those are my thoughts. Here is all the data, and everything marked in yellow are the good spots to stop at, and it really kind of just depends on what you value. Do you care more about these champions, or do you care more about more crystals, more rank up materials, etc. in the summer sale? If some of these champs are your favorite champs in the entire game, like you just can't live without a 7-star Tigra, then I completely understand just going all in on this event. Personally, I won't be doing that. I'll be reserving most of my units for the summer sale. But yeah, hopefully this was a informative video for you all. Good luck in your openings, and make sure to hit that subscribe button. It would help me a lot. And yeah, take care. As always, spread love, not hate. Peace, everybody.